what am I doing here? Who am I? Like, what's the point? Don't let logic keep you trapped in your box. Your mind has no limit. If you clicked on this video, you probably feel stuck right now. Floating through life with no direction, nothing excites you, and you probably ask yourself, who am I? Why am I here? What's the point of all of this? And the truth is, yeah, you're not lost, you're not stuck, you're just disconnected from who you really are. So let's get into it. So we are raised to believe that purpose is something huge. We need purpose in life, a career, a calling, like a very clear plan of, where you're going in life. And you got to know all that by 25. And if, you don't have a plan, you don't have your purpose, we panic, we go kind of crazy. But purpose isn't something that you figure out. It's kind of like something that you feel into. It's not out there on the outside. It's in here. And you don't find it by thinking harder, overthinking things. You kind of find it by following your excitement. So a great way to reconnect with your true self is to look back into your childhood. Like, what did you love doing as a child? What were you into? What lit you up when no one was watching? For me, like I've always been creative. I always loved, drawing, photography, painting, tinkering, filming, recording. I had my own puppet show. I had my own modeling show very early on. And like all of these little like breadcrumbs, I would say, they led me here, to creating a video like this, inspiring others. I don't even know where it's going. I just love what I'm doing. Like I love creating, filming, and yeah, I feel good about it. And it sounds so simple, but that's the whole point. Purpose doesn't have to look like a TED Talk. Sometimes it's your soul just asking you to do more of what feels natural, even if it's soccer, painting, I don't know, collecting shiny rocks, music, piano, singing. The thing that you loved in your childhood or your hobbies right now, that is a direction. And it's basically the compass pointing back home, as cheesy as it sounds. So basically, excitement is a breadcrumb trail. It leads you to where you are meant to be. And the more you follow it, without needing to know, oh my God, how is it going to turn out, without, the end result, the more you aligned your life becomes. And yeah, I know you're going to say, but that won't make me money. I'll be broke. I'll end up homeless. That is fear talking. That is conditioning. That is programming. Yes, money is important. But when money comes before joy, I think you've already placed yourself in a cage, of invisible limits, like the survival mode, the should, the rules. But when you follow your excitement first, like even just a little, like a tiny bit, it opens doors that you couldn't even see before. And the universe literally meets you halfway. And that's how alignment works. That's how flow happens. Yeah, but what if I follow my excitement and end up with no money, no job, no safety net? What if I become homeless? Everybody has these doubts. But you're not meant to jump off a cliff blindly. Following your soul doesn't mean quitting your job like overnight. It means taking little aligned steps. Start small. Give yourself like a safety plan if needed. Don't use fear as an excuse to stay stuck forever. There are people out there living their dreams with almost no money. There are people, they're building lives out of pure creativity and passion. And if they can do it, why not you? What makes them more capable than you? The only thing that's stopping you is the story that you're telling yourself, all the excuses that you make up in your head. Your beliefs create your reality, period. If you believe life is hard, you'll experience struggle. If you believe you're not good enough, you'll constantly sabotage yourself. But if you believe the universe has your back, life is going to support those who are true to themselves. But, I just can't follow my excitement. That's not safe. What if it leads to consequences? What if I feel excited about, hooking up with, I don't know, my best friend's girlfriends? Or what about taking drugs? Here's the distinction. True excitement, like the kind of that aligns with your soul, that feels very grounded, very calm, very peaceful underneath the spark. And it doesn't come with anxiety or, a rush of urgencies. That is not excitement. That is compulsion. An urge or addiction might feel very intense, but it's rooted in fear. So real excitement isn't about reckless impulses, it's about resonance. And it always comes with a sense of clarity and an inner knowing, even if it's a bit scary. And yeah, hooking up, with your best friend's girlfriends might bring up questions, but if it's something that genuinely stirs you, just ask yourself why. What part of me is seeking connection or expression through that? Like, maybe it's not about her at all. Maybe it's about a deeper part of you wanting to be seen, wanting intimacy, wanting to feel alive, or I don't know, follow the emotion, not the action. Now let's take that example and dig a little deeper, with hooking up with your best friend's girlfriend. Maybe that friendship would end, and maybe that's part of your path. Maybe losing that friend reveals something more about who you are and what you're learning right now. That doesn't mean hurting others is right, but it means life is always reflecting back to you where you are at in your journey, in your self-discovery. And every situation is an invitation to become more conscious. So don't obsess about outcomes. I feel like that's what causes pain. When you are attached to, how something is supposed to look like or should look like, yeah, you suffer. And let life be surprising. Let it teach you. Trust that everything falls apart. It's falling together in a higher way. You don't have to figure out, the whole path, the whole result, the whole ending, whatever. Just follow the next yes, the next what feels good, what feels right now. Spiritual tools can help. Meditation, breath work, plant medicine, inner child work, I don't know, the next guru, whatever. They're all maps that point you inward. Science is cool, but it has its limits. It can measure, dissect, analyze, but it can't explain your soul. It can't measure your intuition or your dreams. Your mind has no limit. So don't let logic keep you trapped in your box. Use spiritual tools to help you expand your consciousness, to open your third eye, so to say. But if you're not drawn to them, that's okay. There's options out there, and you're not stuck. Stop asking for permission to be yourself. Stop waiting for someone to validate your dreams before you even start doing them, before you start chasing them. Other people's opinions really don't matter. The journey back to yourself can be messy, chaotic. It's kind of like non-linear. Sometimes it's very lonely. But every step you take towards your soul and what you really want to do, every time you choose excitement over fear, you'll get closer to who you really are. If you feel lost right now, stuck, just know you're not broken. You're just, remembering, as cheesy as it sounds. Who are you? You are a soul in a body, here to create, to feel, to explore, to experience. So your purpose is simply to be you, fully and unapologetically. Also, I feel like you don't need a 5-year, 10-year plan. All you need is a yes in your body and just one single step, one tiny step, a moment of trust. A tiny act of alignment. And from there, life will, unfold in ways you can't even imagine. All I can say is, just breathe, tune in, and just follow what lights you up. Trust that the rest will come. And you're not lost. You're just about to find yourself. If you're excited about laying in bed right now, do that. Don't judge yourself. If you're excited about watching that TV show, do it. If you're excited about eating chocolate, do it. If you're excited about, walking at the beach, imagine, you would walk at the beach and then you meet someone who gives you that idea or, who encourages you. You never know. Just follow that little voice. So if this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going. See you in the next video.